watching SKST Radio.
Well. Welcome to another episode of SKST Radio, and you tuned in to the Grayson Show. And I have a new friend today. He goes by the name of Art. Hey, Art, welcome to the show.
Thank you. What a great intro video. I love that.
Well, thank you. Thank you very
Art
much.
Bierschbach. Yeah.
Man, we've been waiting for this interview for a while, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. We scheduled a ways back, but that means I'm jumping in with somebody who's doing great and happy and busy.
Sounds good. So, Art, tell people who you are and what you do.
Okay. Art Bierschbach. My company is B10 Consulting because Bierschbach has 11 letters, and that was my flying nickname in the Air Force, B10. So, just a big dumb fighter pilot at heart. Your job in the Air Force is to develop those behind you. So you're always developing new leaders. So as I went through my career, and then I went to the acquisition world, and I had the team that developed what's now the F-135 engines. And then I went to Raytheon, and I got in their continuous improvement world. And I had some projects that were really great, and some were real dogs. And the difference was always the team lead. If the team lead knew how to lead change, we had a great project. If the team lead wasn't a great leader, hadn't been developed, we struggled. So it got me right back into the leadership development world. And in 2014, I struck out on my own. Started with mostly Lean and Six Sigma work, but every project is a leadership project. So I got more and more heavily into the leadership development side. And that's what I do now. I give business owners their lives back. I want the business owner who hasn't been home on time for dinner in 2 weeks. She hasn't seen her kid's soccer game all year. And let's develop her and teach her how to train the people that are with her so they do the day-to-day stuff. She does what a business owner ought to do: values, vision, culture, make sure her team have the right people and right people in the right seats. And then I'm successful when she can take her family to Hawaii for 2 weeks and leave her cell phone on the desk because she knows the business won't skip a beat.
Wow. So Raytheon, I mean, that's a very popular company.
Raytheon is a great company. I love being part of that team. But I went to Raytheon Aircraft, and they sold out to the business leaders and went back to being Hawker Beechcraft. And they just didn't want to get on board with the things Raytheon was doing to be highly successful. So it became time to move on and do something new. So I went to a nonprofit and did continuous improvement in small and medium-sized manufacturers and learned a ton about entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, mama businesses.
Wow. So that's a big adjustment.
It was a big change, but just if you listen and pay attention to what business leaders need, you can help them at any level. But the first thing you have to do as a leader is listen.
Nice. Well, so now as a consultant, do you have like a lot of clients at one time, or are you just kind of spoon feeding many of clients that you can take?
Yeah, I'm still digging out from the pandemic. Pre-pandemic, I did mostly larger clients, did a lot of seminars. And for me, a perfect seminar is something where I walk in with 6 or 8 hours of material for a 4-hour seminar. I cover about 2 hours of it because that means the other 2 hours we're talking about what's important to the people in the room. So for me, that's a perfect seminar. And I had a program of doing that I modified for every client. When the pandemic hit, I went to more one-on-one coaching via Zoom and doing masterminds. So a lot of my masterminds are longer term covering topics. And a lot of them, I don't know if you're familiar with John Maxwell, but he's the world's expert on leadership. He's written about 100 books on leadership. And
Mhm.
I got certified as a Maxwell coach and trainer in 2016. So that got me a lot of license material that I can kind of piggyback on.
Yeah.
And what I love about the Maxwell team is it was so compatible with what I already had developed. So it wasn't like I was changing gears. I was just adding more material.
Nice, nice. So
Yeah.
now, what type of customers are you looking to secure in the future, or are you just going
Mhm.
to be like unreachable at this
Well,
point since you do have a lot
I'm
of
going
good
to
people?
continue. Yeah, I'm going to continue with the. I'm going to continue. Yeah, I'm going to continue with the smaller mom and pops because I feel like I'm adding value, and that's my mission every day is to add value to someone.
Nice.
But they're not financially lucrative either. These mom and pops usually don't have a lot of cash flow. So
Right.
I'm kind of trying to get back into the larger businesses. And I think there's a lot of opportunity there. To paraphrase something my mentor told me, Mark Cole, who's the CEO of the John Maxwell team, no business leaders ever come to me and said, Art, I have a really big problem. I have too many really great leaders. Never happened. So
No.
businesses need to develop more leaders. Yes.
Very cool. Very cool. So Art,
Hmm.
I am here to let people know, that your services are available and the things that
Hmm.
you have to offer
Yeah.
them. So any words of wisdom that you can offer if someone's looking for a business counselor or coach?
Yeah. Find someone that looks at your business kind of the way you do, but not exactly. So what am I saying? Um, have somebody that's not afraid to tell you the truth, even when you don't like it. But you have to be able to get along too. We have almost 40,000 coaches now in the John Maxwell team. So if you don't click with me, we'll find someone you click with. I mean, we're going to find somebody compatible with you and with where you're trying to go. And find someone who's a values match. Uh, whether you're hiring an employee or hiring a consultant, if your values don't match, it's never going to work. So
Hmm.
look for similar values. Um, you know, if I work with a heating, HVAC company, heating and cooling, um, they have spent their whole lifetime learning about heating and cooling stuff, learning how air conditioners work, learning how heaters work. They probably have not paid a lot of attention and gone to school for business in most cases. So I've spent my whole career learning how to develop leaders. So that's where I think we can add value and teach them to develop those leaders. And what I love seeing is, a mom and pop will have, most times, mom will be working in the office doing all the admin stuff, and pop is out there busting his rear end, installing new heaters or something all day.
Hmm.
They have to go from that thought process where they do it all to where they bring people into the business, develop them, and teach them their processes so they can independently go out and do the day-to-day work. And teaching those owners to let go, sometimes that's an issue where they have to be able to stay back and oversee multiple teams out in the field. And that's a big step for some people.
Wow. Yeah. I can imagine. I can only imagine. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so scary. Even, what our little bitty business, we're still trying to get it
Hmm.
up and going. And, we just moved to a new studio and just hiring
Hmm.
someone to represent what we're doing. I mean, that
Yep.
was hard, just trying to weed
Yes.
people out.
Hmm.
And so
Yep.
I,
Yeah.
I
Well.
want to. I just want to know if I did the right thing, because one lady we had, she didn't fit, you know, and
Yep.
so I think,
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. What I see over and over is in the rush to get a warm body, you pick the wrong person, and that is always more expensive in the long run.
Yeah.
Always. You want to be able to hire somebody that matches your values and matches the culture you're trying to build. Cammie, you should have a real firm idea of what is the culture you want to have. Do you want people that just follow orders, or do you want people that look for things that need to be done and go do them? So you need to hire people that are going to fit into that future culture you're trying to build and match your values. If they're lacking a skill or two, we can develop skills.
Right.
It's really, really hard to change attitudes.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree with that. I really do.
Yep.
Man, so so I'm learning a lot just listening here.
Well, good.
Because
Now, my mission is to add value.
yeah, well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. You got to put me on that on that list over there, because at the end of the day, you want to be successful, right? And I think everyone needs a business coach or a consultant. I really do, because without a coach, you could be going in the wrong direction and not even realize. It might feel good.
Yep.
I mean, people do things that's that's what do you call the least resistant. People will go that way. However, sometimes you have to face the bad part too. And so I think a business coach or consultant like yourself is the person to say, hey, Cammie, that's not working out, or, you don't want that image, you want something better. So I love that about what you do. And I love that you work with mom and pops. I love that.
Yeah. Yep. In the fighter world, we fly usually split apart and different altitudes because it's harder to find both airplanes. The other thing it does is this guy can see behind the other guy better and cover that blind spot behind him. So in the business world, what's that mean? Cammie, where are your blind spots?
Yeah.
You don't know. You're blind to them. So a coach can help you identify those blind spots and figure out what to do about them.
No, I love it. Absolutely love it. And so, okay, so how do you, once you find that right person, how do you continue to be the leader? You don't want to be lost and with someone that's, I don't know if you want to say the person, I love a person to bring value to my table, but sometimes you feel kind of lost if somebody's bringing way more value than what you have to offer. How do you use that to your advantage?
Communication is key. You need to be talking and you need to be listening and finding out, what does adding too much value mean in this case, and what do we do with it? So one of the things a leader has to continually do over and over is to repeat the vision. So what is the vision? Where are we trying to go with this organization? I don't care if it's a business, a nonprofit, a family. What is the vision? Where are you trying to go? And then what does it mean to add value to move towards that vision? And there may be a lot of things that come up that you can do, but if it's not focused on achieving the vision, we need to ask, is that a direction we really want to go
in? Yeah. So I'm hearing we need to make sure that your mission statement is implemented in every way, even at the process of the beginning of a new employee. Make sure that your mission lines up with with what that standards are, and if that employee understands what you're putting out there. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's absolutely. And that goes back to the interview before you hire somebody. There should be a discussion on on your vision. What's your vision for the company? And tell me how, one of the questions I like to ask is, if I hire you here, how are you going to fit in that vision? How are you going to help us get there? And listening to that answer